The planet was quiet, cold, and dark. Nothing moved. No wind, no animals, no signs of life. Yet, something strange lived deep inside one place, the cave. The aliens called it Zone Zero. It was hidden inside a mountain with a wide black entrance like an open mouth. The rocks around it were sharp and cracked, as if the mountain had been punched from inside. Every alien who came near the cave said the same thing. I heard screams. No one believed them at first. It's just the wind, some said. You're hearing your own fear, others joked. But when soldiers entered and never came back, the jokes stopped. Commander Varan of the Zarkali Empire stood at the cave's edge. His 6 eyes blinked fast. The air around the cave felt thick and heavy. It pressed on his chest. Another unit disappeared? He asked. Yes, Commander, said his assistant, Zrel. 4th unit this week. Same pattern. We lose contact 2 minutes after they go inside. And what did they say before the signal went dark? Zrel looked scared, screaming, loud and strange, not human, not animal. Varan didn't like it. He was a war hero, but even he didn't want to go near that cave. Seal it, he ordered, mark it forbiddance. But someone had already heard the story back on Earth. The humans were part of the same alliance now. They shared space routes, trade, and knowledge with the Zarkali. But they were very different. Where Zarkali were careful. Humans were curious. Captain Alex Monroe was a quiet man with sharp eyes and a calm voice. He listened to the story of the screaming cave during a briefing. Send me, he said. The room went silent. General Hux from the alien command shook his head. You don't understand, human. This is not for your kind. I'm not going to fight, Alex said. I just want to see. Varan growled. Everyone says that. Then we find nothing. Or never find them again. Alex smiled. That's because you keep sending soldiers. I'm not a soldier. I'm a scout. Later that night, Alex stood alone outside the cave. He wore light armor and carried only basic tools. A rope, a flashlight, a scanner and a flare gun. No heavy weapons. No loud machines. Just silence. The wind howled behind him. But inside the cave, everything was still. He stepped forward. The moment he crossed the entrance, he felt it. The temperature dropped. The light from his flashlight seemed to weaken. The air smelled like rust and wet stone. A soft whisper passed by his ear. He turned. Nothing. Just nerves, he whispered. Deeper inside, the walls seemed to change. They weren't smooth. They looked like ribs. Huge, bone-shaped ridges pressed out from the stone, like something had grown into the cave. Not just carved it. Then came the sound. Not loud, not screaming, but not normal. It was like a soft cry far away. It echoed once, then twice, then stopped. Alex knelt and turned on the scanner. No movement, no heat signatures, no life detected. Then what's making that sound? He said to himself. He moved deeper. The air pulsed gently, like it was breathing. Soon he found something. A helmet, cracked, alien symbols on it, Zarkali design. Inside, dried green blood. He crouched and looked around. Where's the body? A sudden hiss came from the left wall. He spun, flashlight raised. Nothing there. But now the wall had changed. It looked like it had a face. Not fully formed, but the shape 2 eyes. A mouth pushed out from the stone. He touched it. The face disappeared. Alex's heart beat faster, but he stayed calm. This cave is alive. A voice spoke behind him. Why do you keep walking? He turned fast. No one there. I could end you, like the others. Alex stood tall. Then why haven't you? Silence. He kept going. The tunnel bent downward. Slippery stones. Strange liquid on the floor. It shimmered blue green dots. Suddenly, the ground shook. The ceiling groaned. Dust fell around him. Then the scream came, loud. Terrible. like hundreds of voices crying at once. He fell to his knees, covered his ears. The scream wasn't just sound. It was inside his head. And then it stopped. Breathing hard, Alex stood up. "You're trying to scare me." A whisper came. "Yes." He kept moving. He reached a wide-open chamber. It was huge, maybe the size of a football field. Shapes moved along the walls. Thin, tall, like shadows walking upside down. A pit lay in the center. Bones. Not just Zarkeli. Many species. Skulls, armor, broken weapons. Alex stood at the edge and stared. That's why they never came back. Suddenly, one of the shadows dropped from the wall. It landed silently. It was tall, twice his height. Insect-like. Thin arms, long fingers. No mouth. Just a pair of glowing white eyes. Alex didn't move. "You're not attacking," he said. Creature tilted its head. "Why?" he asked. The creature stepped aside. A path opened down into the pit. An invitation? He followed. The air changed again, this time warmer, softer. At the bottom of the pit was a second door. Not made of stone, but of some living shell. It opened on its own. Inside was a room covered in light. Not from lamps, but from the walls themselves. They glowed softly, pulsing like a heartbeat. And there, sitting on a large throne of bone and crystal, was something bigger. The queen. She looked like the shadow creatures, but older, more regal. Her eyes were gold. Her wings were folded behind. She didn't move. Alex slowly walked forward. "You're the reason the cave screams." She spoke without words. Her voice appeared in his mind. "They scream because they fear. And I let them feel it." "Why?" "To test them." Alex nodded slowly. "And did any pass?" "None. Until now." Alex swallowed. "Why me?" "You are not ruled by fear. You ask questions. You walk when others run. You think before you strike." "I didn't come here to fight," Alex said. "That's why you live." The queen stood. She was even taller than he thought. "Then what now?" he asked. "You return. Tell them what you saw. And that the cave is not a tomb, it is a test. Will they believe me?" "They will, if you survive the final scream." Alex frowned. "What does that mean?" She lifted one claw and touched his forehead. The world spun. He saw flashes, every soul that died in the cave, their pain, their panic, their final thoughts. He felt them all. He dropped to his knees, shaking. Then he stood. He breathed, and he didn't scream. The queen smiled. "You are ready." Moments later, Alex stepped out of the cave. The alien commanders were waiting. Soldiers aimed weapons. Doctors ran forward. "He's alive. Pull him back." Alex raised his hand. "I'm fine." Commander Veron came. "Forward. What did you see?" "A queen," Alex said. "A test. The cave is alive. It judges the brave and kills the blind." "Is it a weapon?" Zrel asked. "No, it's a warning." Veron stared. "From who?" Alex turned toward the cave. It no longer looked angry. It looked calm. From someone older than you, smarter, and tired of war. Captain Alex Monroe stood at the edge of the landing platform, the cold wind brushing against his face. Behind him, alien soldiers watched in silence. No one dared go near the cave. Not after what happened last time, but Alex. He wasn't like the others. He had survived the first journey. He had entered the screaming cave and returned. No one else ever had. "Why do you want to go back?" Commander Veron asked. Alex checked his gear. "Because I didn't finish what I started." Zrel, the alien assistant, frowned. "We told you what our scans found, movement deep inside. Something's awake down there." Alex nodded slowly. "Good. Maybe this time it'll talk." Veron growled. "You're risking too much. We lost 6 more drones in the last hour. The cave swallowed them." "And it didn't swallow me," Alex replied. "That means I'm still invited." He walked forward before they could argue. This time, he wore lighter gear. He left his weapons behind. Just tools, lights, a rope, and one old earth item, a small compass from his father. He stepped into the cave again. It greeted him like before, cold, dark, and quiet. But something had changed. The silence was heavier now. Like the cave was watching. Alex whispered, "I'm back." The walls gave a slow, low hum in response. He turned on his headlamp and moved in. The deeper he went, the more he felt it pressure in the air, like a heartbeat. The ground pulsed under his boots. The light flickered, then he heard it. A soft clicking. Not mechanical. Organic. He followed the sound around a bend. Suddenly, a shape moved past his light. Quick, too fast to see clearly. He paused. Not hostile, or I'd be dead already. He moved slower now. "Let me see you," he said gently. Another click. Then silence. He walked on. Shadows danced on the walls. The old bones were still there. The pit was still filled. But the air was warmer than before. He knelt and touched the floor. It pulsed once, then stopped. The Queen was near. A voice entered his mind. "You returned." "Alone," Alex nodded. "I said I would." "Why?" "To understand." The voice grew louder. "They sent drones, machines, eyes without hearts. I crushed them. I know. I didn't come to spy. I came to listen." The voice was quiet now, then come. A new passage opened beside the pit. Alex had never seen it before. The stone walls slid back like soft skin. A narrow tunnel led deeper into the planet. Lights flickered along the path, blue, soft, warm. He followed. The tunnel twisted. The air grew damp. Strange growths covered the walls like vines made of light. Then the tunnel opened into a tall, round chamber. At the center stood a small pillar. On it rested a black stone. Alex stepped forward, curious. "What is this?" he asked. "A memory," the Queen answered. When he touched the stone, everything changed. His body froze. His mind flooded with visions. He saw the Queen's hive, a massive, peaceful race that lived deep inside planets. They shared thoughts, emotions. They didn't fight. They avoided war. Then the stars brought destruction. Aliens, ships, fire, invaders entered the cave. The Queen's sisters fought to protect their minds. They died. One by one, the Queen was the last. She hid her thoughts. She made the cave scream. She turned it into fear. Because fear, she learned, was the only thing aliens respected. The vision ended. Alex gasped and stepped back. "That's what happened to you. They came with fire. You came with questions. So I showed you the truth." Alex looked around the glowing chamber. "You're still hiding, aren't you?" "Yes. And I will continue. Unless you help me." He frowned. "Help you how?" The ground shook lightly. A new path opened. Inside, something blinked. Red lights, mechanical arms, old weapons. A dead robot lay on the floor. Zarkali design. "They'll come again. More weapons. More machines." Alex nodded. "They're afraid of what they don't understand. Then teach them. Show them what this cave really is." He stepped toward the robot. A small crystal core blinked on its chest. Alex picked it up. "Memory drive?" "Yes. Give it to them. Let them see what I showed you." Alex placed it in his pack. "They may still not listen. Then they will face me. And I won't hold back again." Alex stood tall. "I'll try. But I need to leave now." The walls pulsed again. A soft hum followed. "You may go. For now." He turned and started walking back the way he came. But halfway through the tunnel, something stopped him. A shadow, not one of the Queens. This one moved like a soldier. Alex raised his hand. "Who's there?" A flash of blue armor. "Zarkali. Elite soldier, helmet on. Rifle aimed. Human, you're under arrest." "What?" Alex shouted. "Why? You made contact with the unknown. That makes you a threat." Alex didn't move. "I have proof." You don't understand what lives here. Silence. More soldiers appeared. 5, maybe 6. We're taking you to command, the lead one said. Alex slowly reached into his bag. Then take this with you. He tossed the memory core forward. One soldier caught it. Scanned it. The screen flashed red. Unauthorized data. Mindtech signature confirmed. They looked at each other. What did you do in there? The soldier demanded. I listened, Alex said simply. Suddenly, the tunnel lights went out. Everything turned black. The ground roared. Screams not from the cave, but from the soldiers. The walls moved, crushing one, throwing another across. The tunnel. Alex fell and rolled, yelling, Stop! They're not ready. But the Queen's voice filled the air. They brought fear. I gave it back. Only 2 soldiers survived. They crawled away, guns lost. Alex stood and shouted, ENOUGH. The walls froze. Silence returned. He breathed hard, his voice shaking. Don't kill them. They're just scared. The Queen's voice faded to a whisper. Then teach them, human, before fear destroys us all. Alex picked up the broken memory drive and walked out of the cave, wounded but alive. Outside, the alien commanders ran to him. What happened? Varan shouted. Where is Unit 7? Gone, Alex said. ZRL looked terrified. Gone? Why? What did you do? Alex held up the broken drive. I did what you never could. He handed the crystal to Zrel. This is everything. The Queen's history, her pain, her truth. Varan stepped back. You want us to believe her? No, Alex said. I want you to feel her. He walked past them, toward the command base. Behind him, the cave stayed silent, but it was listening and waiting. The cave no longer screamed. At least, not like before, but something inside had changed, grown deeper, darker, smarter. Captain Alex Monroe stood alone on the landing zone outside the cave's mouth. He could feel it staring at him from the shadows. The Queen had let him live. She had shared her memories. But she had also given him a warning. If they bring fear again, I will not hold back. He had tried to convince the Zarkeli command. He gave them the crystal, told them about the Queen's truth, about her pain, about how she had once been peaceful. But they didn't care. She is dangerous, Commander Varan said. All she brings is death. You bring death, Alex replied calmly. She only reflects it back. Now 3 days later, Zarkeli drones went missing again. Not destroyed, just gone. No signal, no remains. And then came the whisper reports. From the soldiers. I saw eyes, watching us. They glowed. Varan wanted to bomb the cave. Alex begged him to stop. Give me one more chance, he said. If she attacks again, you can do whatever you want, but let me go first. Varan reluctantly agreed. You have 24 hours. So Alex returned. He wore the same light gear, no guns. Just a light, scanner, food pack, and his father's old compass. As he stepped into the cave, the air changed again. Colder, quieter. Then the voice came. You came back, but not alone. Alex frowned. What do you mean, I'm alone? Your mind is noisy. They are shouting in it. He paused, then realized Varan had planted a chip, a live feed recorder, in his ear. Alex sighed. I'm sorry. He ripped it out and crushed it with his boot. I didn't agree to that. I came to talk, not spy. The silence lasted longer than he liked. Then the tunnel ahead opened. He walked in. The deeper he went, the more the light faded. His flashlight flickered. He tapped it. A whisper came from behind him. Why do you follow the dark? Alex spun around. Nothing there. Another whisper, this time from ahead. Why do you trust shadows? His voice was steady, because light blinds too. Silence. Again. Then came the eyes. At first, only 2. Glowing white, floating in the darkness ahead. Then 4. Then 6. Then dozens. They didn't move. Just stared. Alex slowly stepped forward. Are you watching me? He asked. Or testing me again? A low hum answered. The eyes blinked, then separated from the dark. Tall shapes stepped into the edge of his light. They were like the queen, but thinner, faster looking. No mouths, long arms, clawed hands. Their skin shimmered like stone. Alex stood his ground. I'm not here to fight. One of the figures moved forward and pointed to the wall. Symbols lit up, old alien writing. The scanner buzzed. Alex raised it. The translation read, "The Queen is not the only voice." What does that mean? He asked softly. The wall shifted. Again, a new word appeared. Divided. Alex took a step back. There are others? The creatures stepped aside. The wall behind them opened. A new chamber, darker than anything he'd seen before. He entered. This room was colder, older, full of strange shapes, eggs maybe, or pods. Some were broken, and in the center stood something massive. It looked like a statue at first 20 feet tall, hunched, claws to the ground, wings folded over its back. But its chest rose and fell slowly. Breathing. A new voice filled the chamber. Not the Queen. You speak her truth, but not ours. Alex stepped forward slowly. Then show me. The figure opened its eyes, deep red, not gold. She was not always gentle, not to us. Visions filled his mind again. This time, pain. Images of the Queen fighting her own kind, disagreeing, arguing, then exiling them deep into the cave. The eyes were once her protectors. Now they were her prisoners. Alex stumbled back. You're her enemies. We were her balance. She silenced us. Now you walk in her words. Alex breathed hard. Then what are you? The creature rose to full height. Its voice grew deeper. We are the other half of the truth. Alex suddenly understood. The Queen had shown him her past, but not all of it. She had edited the truth. She feared being seen as cruel. He looked up. You want me to tell them she's a liar? We want you to tell them everything. Behind him, the creatures with glowing eyes watched in silence. Alex turned around. Why now? Because they are coming, with fire again. They always do. The ground trembled. Suddenly, a loud boom echoed through the cave. Dust fell from the ceiling. Alex turned on the emergency scanner. Incoming missile outside the cave. Varan had lost patience. They were starting the attack. No! Alex shouted. Shoot, kill everyone. The red-eyed creature looked at him. Then you must stop her. But she trusts me. That is why you're the only one who can. Alex ran back through the tunnels. Past the glowing eyes. Past the pods. The Queen's voice echoed through the walls, sharp and angry. They break the peace. They will feel fear again. Alex shouted. Wait, you didn't tell me the whole truth. They didn't deserve it. The others, your own kind, you locked them away. Silence. They wanted to surrender. I wanted to survive. Alex reached the throne room. The Queen stood tall, wings spread wide, her eyes burning bright gold. You were scared, Alex said softly. That's why you screamed. I was alone. You still are. Unless you stop this. Outside, the missiles began to fall. The cave shook violently. Stone cracked. The Queen turned toward the exit. Alex stood in her way. I believed you, he said. Do you still? He paused. Then nodded. Double quotes, yes. But I also believe they deserve the whole story. The Queen's wings slowly folded. The glow in her eyes dimmed. She stepped aside. Then go. Tell it. Before none remained to hear it. Alex didn't wait. He ran back through the crumbling tunnels, his compass swinging wildly. Rubble fell. Fires sparked. Water leaked from broken veins in the wall. He emerged from the mouth of the cave just as a second missile hit the mountain. Above, he fell to the ground, coughing. Soldiers ran toward him. Human. What happened? He looked up at Varan. You nearly destroyed everything. They're dangerous. No, Alex said. They're divided. She's not the only one. There's another side, another truth. Varan froze. What do you mean? I mean, you're not the only ones who feared her. Her own kind did too. Zrel stepped closer. So what now? Alex stood. We listened to all of it. Not just the part that makes us feel right. Behind them, the cave was silent. But inside, I still watched, waiting. Captain Alex Monroe stood at the edge of the cave again. This time, no soldiers followed. No drones flew above. The Zarkeli had finally listened, after the last missile failed to break the mountain, and after Alex came running out screaming, "You'll kill the truth, not the enemy." Now the entrance stood open, and still. It had not screamed in days. Not since Alex had spoken with both the Queen and her exiled kind, the ones with red eyes, hidden deeper within. He had returned alone, not to fight, not to speak. This time, to see something that haunted his mind. The pit. He hadn't climbed into it before. Only stood at the edge, stared at the bones, and felt his stomach twist. But now, the Queen had called him again. She had said only one word in his mind. Come. Alex walked slowly through the familiar tunnels. The walls pulsed quietly, as if the cave was breathing again, but this time with a calmer rhythm. A heartbeat, not a growl. The tunnel opened ahead. The giant chamber. The pit waited at the center. Black and deep. Alex stopped at the edge and looked down. Bones. Hundreds of them. Some broken. Some piled. Armor scattered among them. Zarkeli, humans. Others he didn't even recognize. He dropped a flare. It fell deep, bouncing off curved rocks, and finally lit the bottom. He clipped his rope, tied it to a jagged rock, and began his descent. Each step down was slow, steady, and full of tension. He whispered, "One wrong move, and I become part of the pit." Halfway down, he saw names scratched into the walls. Not in any language he recognized. Alien marks. Tallies, warnings, or were they prayers? When his boots touched the bottom, the light from his flare revealed the full horror. There weren't just bones. There were faces. Skulls still holding expressions, mouths open, eye sockets cracked. Weapons that had melted into the stone. He knelt beside a broken helmet. It was human. He picked it up slowly. Earth Tech Model 2 Explorer Class, he said aloud. This. This is from the first team, 30 years ago. But Earth had erased that mission. Claimed the crew vanished during warp travel. The Queen had lied. So had Earth. A whisper came from behind. Now you see. Alex stood and turned. The Queen stood at the far end of the pit, wings folded, body still. He walked toward her, careful not to step on any remains. This is where they all fell? Yes. He stopped 2 feet from her. You said they came with fear, and they did, but not all. Some came with questions, I answered. He looked around again, and still, they died. The Queen lowered her head, because truth comes with pain. Alex stared at the bones. Tell me the real story. The Queen blinked slowly. At first, I waited. I watched the stars. Then they came, your kind, and others, loud, armed, demanding. The first ones who entered this place attacked what they didn't understand. They saw a heartbeat and tried to stop it. They saw a voice and tried to silence it. Alex nodded slowly. But you fought back. I warned them. Then I showed them fear. Some turned away. Some refused. I buried them here. He stepped closer. Even the ones who didn't attack? The Queen didn't answer. Her silence was enough. He breathed heavily. You judged all of them by the actions of the first. I judged quickly, too quickly. He looked at the bones again. A clawed hand rested on a human rifle. It looked like the two had died together, holding on. He shook his head. They came to learn. They just didn't know how. And now, you do. Alex turned to her. But it's too late for them. She nodded. It is, but not for the future. He looked up at the walls. Faded paintings now showed, maybe drawn in blood or fire. They showed strange creatures speaking to other species. One painting showed a human holding hands with something tall and insect-like. Alex reached out and touched it. You dreamed of peace? I still do. He turned slowly. Then you need to open this pit to everyone. Let them see what happened here. She paused. Her wings rustled. You want me to show them my mistakes? Yes, Alex said. That's the only way they'll trust you. She stared at him for a long time. And if they use it against me, then I'll stand beside you. A low hum rose in the air. The walls glowed. The Queen's eyes softened. Then, let us begin. Suddenly, the bones began to shift. Alex jumped back. The floor trembled. Bones floated softly, gently rising from the ground, forming a slow-moving spiral in the air. The remains weren't being erased. They were being honored. The Queen moved her hand. A new symbol carved itself into the stone wall visible to all. It showed a pit. Below it, the words formed. Here, truth was buried. Now it rises. Alex stared at it, moved. Then his radio crackled. Alex R. You there? It was ZRL. He lifted the mic. I'm here. Status? He looked at the Queen. She's opening the pit. What? She's showing the truth. All of it. Bones, mistakes, everything. Double quote static. Then. You sure that's safe? No, Alex replied. But it's right. Later, when he climbed out of the pit, he saw a Zarkali ship had landed. Outside the cave, Varan stood there, waiting. Not with soldiers, but scientists. Alex walked up to him. She's ready. Varan narrowed his eyes. And you think we're ready? Alex looked toward the cave. No, but we have to try anyway. Varan nodded. ZRL stepped forward with a handheld scanner. We're picking up new heat signatures inside. All over. The pit. What does that mean? Varan asked. Alex smiled slightly. It means she's waking up more of her past. Behind them, the cave glowed softly. Not with fear. With memory. And maybe with hope. Captain Alex Monroe stood inside the glowing chamber, the light from the walls pulsing softly like a heartbeat. The pit was behind him, and before him sat the Queen on her throne, tall and powerful. Her golden eyes shone, watching him carefully. You have come far, the Queen's voice spoke inside Alex's mind. It was calm but full of weight. Alex bowed his head slightly. I'm ready. The Queen smiled, a small movement that changed the whole room. Few have dared to enter this place twice. Fewer still have stood before me. Alex felt the tension in the air but kept his calm. I want to understand. The Queen lifted a clawed hand and touched the glowing floor. Suddenly, visions filled Alex's mind. He was no longer in the cave. He saw vast fields covered in strange flowers that shimmered like stars. There were giant trees with leaves made of glass. Creatures of many shapes moved peacefully, communicating without words. He saw the Queen herself, younger, leading her hive with kindness. She touched the foreheads of her subjects, sharing thoughts and feelings. Then the vision changed. A dark shadow appeared on the horizon, a fleet of warships from distant stars. They carried weapons that fired beams of light and death. The peaceful creatures ran. The Queen's hive gathered, preparing to defend their home. Alex felt the fear in their minds. It was not just fear for life, but fear of losing what they loved. Vision shifted again. The Queen fought fiercely, but the invaders were many. Her hive suffered great losses. Alex saw the pit filled with bones. The truth he already knew. The vision stopped. Alex gasped and opened his eyes. You see, the Queen said, war came to us. We fought to survive. But we lost more than we won. Alex nodded slowly. I understand. The Queen rose from her throne. Now I will test you. Alex felt a chill A test? Yes, you have seen the past. But can you face the future? The Queen stepped closer and touched his forehead. The world shifted again. Alex was inside a vast chamber filled with mirrors. Each mirror showed a different future. In one, the aliens destroyed the cave with bombs and fire. The Queen's hive vanished forever. In another, the hive rose from the ashes, joining with other species in peace. In the third, the hive and the aliens fought endlessly, destroying themselves both. Alex looked into each mirror. He felt the weight of the future in his hands. Suddenly, one mirror shattered. A voice whispered, "Choose." Alex turned to the Queen, who nodded. "I choose peace," he said firmly. The mirrors shimmered. The future changed. The Queen smiled. "You have passed the test." Alex felt relief and hope. "Now," the Queen said, "you must return and share what you have seen." "But will they listen?" Alex asked. "They must," she replied, "because the choice is theirs." Alex stepped back. "What if they choose war again?" The Queen's eyes glowed softly. "Then they will know it was their choice. And I will not fight for a future they refuse to build." Alex took a deep breath. "I will do my best." The Queen lowered her hand. "Go now. The cave awaits your return." Alex walked toward the exit, feeling stronger. Outside, the air was fresh. The alien commanders waited, tense. Varan asked, "What did the test say?" Alex looked at him steadily. "There is still hope." The Queen's voice echoed in his mind softly. "Hope is the greatest power of all." Captain Alex Monroe stood inside the glowing chamber once more. The Queen sat silently on her throne, her golden eyes fixed on him. "You have passed the test," she said softly. "Now comes the hardest part." Alex frowned. "What is that?" The Queen lifted a delicate hand. "A memory exchange," he blinked. "Memory exchange?" "Yes, we will share memories. You will feel my past. I will feel yours." Alex swallowed hard. "Why?" "Because only through understanding can we find peace." Alex nodded. He had no choice. The Queen extended a clawed finger. A beam of light shot from her fingertip, touching his forehead. Suddenly, Alex's mind was flooded with visions. He saw earth-blue oceans, green forests, cities filled with lights. He saw people. Mothers holding babies, children playing, soldiers marching. He felt joy, love, pain, and fear all at once. He saw wars, destruction, and loss, but also courage, sacrifice, hope. The Queen's voice echoed in his mind. "This is your memory." Alex gasped and opened his eyes. He felt weak, trembling. Now, it was his turn. He reached out and touched her forehead gently. His memories flowed into her mind. He showed her the cold nights on Earth, the warmth of fire, the sound of laughter. He showed her the fear in human eyes before a battle, and the strength that came after. The Queen's eyes softened. She whispered, "Your memories. They are filled with pain, but also with love." Alex smiled faintly. "And yours are full of loneliness." They sat silently for a moment. Then Alex spoke. "Why don't your kind fight anymore?" The Queen's voice was sad. "Because war took everything. I am the last. The others lost hope." Alex nodded. "But maybe hope can come again." She looked at him with something like a tear in her eyes. "Then you must carry that hope." Alex stood. "I will." Suddenly, the chamber shook. A voice echoed through the cave. "Warning. Intruders detected." Alex and the Queen looked at each other. "Prepare yourself," she said. Outside, the alien fleet was approaching faster than expected. Alex knew their time was short. The memory exchange had brought them closer. Now they had to face the coming storm together. The cave trembled, alive with energy. Captain Alex Monroe stood just inside the entrance, watching the shadows dance on the walls. The silence was heavy, but different this time. It wasn't fear. It was something else. The ground shook beneath his feet. A deep rumble echoed through the tunnels. Then a sound soft at first, then growing louder. It was a voice filled with power and life. The Queen was walking again. Alex's heart pounded. The chamber ahead glowed bright gold. The shadows. A figure stepped forward. Tall, regal, and strong. Her wings stretched wide. Her eyes burned with fierce light. She moved with purpose. The cave seemed to welcome her. She stopped before Alex. "You called me," she said inside his mind. "I did," Alex replied. "You are ready." She looked at him with eyes that held centuries of pain and hope. "I feel the memories you gave me." "And I feel yours," Alex said. "We are bound now," the Queen said. "Together, we can change the future." Outside, the sounds of warships grew louder. Alex turned. "They are coming." The Queen nodded. "We must prepare." She raised her hand. The cave responded. Walls shifted. Stones moved, creating barriers of glowing light. Alex saw soldiers arrive, their faces tense but hopeful. Commander Varan stepped forward. "We will fight, but only if it is necessary." Alex looked at the Queen. "We want peace, but we will not run." Suddenly, the cave pulsed. From the darkness, creatures appeared, not enemies. Allies. The exiled ones. The eyes, they bowed before the Queen. She smiled. "Together, we stand." Alex felt hope rise inside him. The Queen stepped forward. Her voice filled the air. "Let this be a new beginning." Outside, the first missiles exploded in the sky. The cave's glow shone bright, unbroken. The Queen and Alex faced the coming storm united. The sky above the cave burned orange and red as warships hovered low, ready to strike. Inside, Captain Alex Monroe stood beside the Queen. Her wings were folded tight, her golden eyes calm but fierce. Behind them, her hive stood ready, silent. Tall creatures with glowing eyes, their loyalty to her now firm. The exiled ones had returned. The pit had spoken. The truth had been shared. Now came the final choice. Varan's voice came over the comlink. "Alex, the fleet is in position. If they detect threat energy from the cave again, they will attack." Alex touched his ear. "You told them the Queen has changed." "I told them," Varan replied. "But fear still commands them." Alex looked up at the Queen. "They don't trust you yet." The Queen spoke gently. "Because they do not understand me." Alex turned to her. "Then let them see you. Let them see you walk under their sky." She tilted her head. "Are they ready?" "No," Alex said. "But maybe that's the point." The Queen paused. Then nodded. She stepped toward the entrance of the cave. The light followed her. The air shimmered. As her feet touched the surface of the planet for the first time in centuries. The world seemed to hold its breath. Alien soldiers aimed weapons. Human soldiers held shields. Varan watched from his command post, eyes wide. "She's walking in the open?" Alex stepped beside her and raised his arms. "Don't shoot," he shouted. "She comes in peace." The Queen lifted both hands, palms open. No weapons. No anger. Only silence. One of the alien soldiers stepped forward slowly. "She's not attacking." Another lowered his weapon. "She's beautiful." A drone floated above, scanning her. The report came in. No hostile signals. No weapons. Life signs peaceful. A human officer stepped forward, standing beside Alex. "Is this real?" he asked. "Yes," Alex said. "This is the Queen of the Deep. She remembers war, but she wants peace." The Queen turned to the crowd. Her voice entered every mind at once. "I have known pain. I have caused pain. But now I offer something more." Everyone went still. "I offer memory, truth, alliance." She extended one hand to the humans, one to the aliens. No one moved at first. Then Varan stepped out of his ship. Slowly. Cautiously. He looked at her. "You spared me once. Why?" The Queen replied, "Because you listened." Varan looked down, then up. He stepped forward. and took her hand. Silence. Then cheers. Weapons lowered. Lights dimmed. Drones backed off. Alex exhaled for the first time in minutes. It was over. No missiles. No screams. Only calm. 3 weeks later, Earth broadcasted the footage across the stars. The Queen of the Deep offers peace. Aliens who once feared the screaming cave now sent messages of curiosity, of diplomacy. Treaties were drafted. The Zarkali Empire sent ambassadors to meet the Hive. Human scientists were granted access to the ancient tunnels, now a living museum of memory and warning. And Alex Monroe? He stood beside the Queen as humanity's first official, voice to the Hive. She was no longer a monster in the dark. She was a name now. A being of wisdom. A new ally, a new future, one built not on silence and fear, but on truth. And trust.